Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Daily Struggle.
The Daily Struggle.
Yeah, it's a podcast that is brand new to the world.
Very brand new.
Very brand new. That voice you're hearing is my co-host, Marcus Torgerson. And if you're wondering who I am Ben Tirpak. And we're going to sit down and we're just going to talk some podcast stuff these days, huh?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I don't think we really have a planned topic for this show. It's something that we've kicked around for a while.
True.
And for whatever reason, we just haven't put it out to the world. I'll take some blame for most of it.
No, let's just go with life.
Life kind of happens.
Life happens.
We could probably do like 3 hours on COVID, but I think that's been covered.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll just skip that?
I think so, yeah.
In all truthfulness, we did try to start this show, and we actually recorded a couple episodes, but I just I didn't like the way that they went.
Fair enough.
I felt like, it was disingenuous to the people that we are and to the people that we wanted to share this journey with.
Yes.
I feel like we didn't get deep enough about the background of why you and I decided to do this.
Yeah,
right?
which is important. People need to know.
Yeah, I kind of jumped right into it like, I'm fucking Ben. Everybody knows who I am.
Right,
you guys should listen to me. There's
Yeah.
no need to rehash stuff.
Yeah.
But in reality, I forget how big this fish pond is that we live in called life.
Yeah.
And not everybody knows who I am.
No.
Which is
but I like people to know your story. I
Yeah.
think your story is important for people to know.
well, yeah, and then I'll get into that.
Yeah.
But I'm reminded how small I am on social media every day, pretty much.
Well, yeah.
And I'm not saying that in a negative way.
No.
I'm just saying like it reinforces the fact that, I need to share my story.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to share stories, not just once, but maybe we'll do this multiple times if this show keeps going on, because sometimes we can lose track of what it is we're really chasing in life, right?
I agree. But just remember Johnny Cash, every single time he came out, he goes, I'm Johnny Cash. As if anybody's not going to know who he is.
I'm Johnny Cash. Did he really do that? I don't know a lot about the man.
Every time.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
Oh, I'm a big fan with that. Like, I like to start shows, like by introducing myself, by introducing my guests and my co-hosts for that day.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just get right into it.
Yep.
For those of you that don't know, once again, I am Ben Tirpak.
You are Ben
As
Tirpak.
Johnny Cash would say. He would say I'm Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
But I'm Ben Tirpak.
You are Ben Tirpak.
And I do some other podcast shows as well. Yes. I know some of you are aware of that, but maybe not. Maybe this is your first time. If so, thank you. I do a little podcast called Skill Set Live. Skill Set Live is a companion show to a print magazine called Skill Set Magazine. Go figure. Skill Set
it's
Live.
funny how they tie in.
It's not a live show. We get that question a lot.
Yeah.
We do.
Because it says live.
Because it's Skill Set Live. Yeah. But I think when Jason first came up the name, Jason is the amazing person that I run the magazine with and do the show with. I think when we first came up with that name, it just sounded really flashy and cool and bang, whiz bang in your face. Like, wow, Skill Set Live.
Yeah.
It's got some heat.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's got some energy.
Yeah. No, it does.
So, but to be fair, it's not live.
No.
So,
No,
we have done some live shows.
Some lives, yeah.
So later on, we did end up living up to the name. So I guess there's
it just took a minute.
But anyways, I'm the host of that show. And before that, I had zero radio, podcast, anything experience. I had done quite a bit of MC work in my life. I've always been a big talker. And so I think I'm qualified to do one of those basement podcast host things, which is kind of what you guys are seeing right here. It's a little, because podcasts have gotten a little professional these days.
Yeah, no.
And we're kind of,
we are I don't think
we're kind of like this.
Yeah, I don't think the word professional is the best word to describe us.
So I do that. I do that little podcast show. I've got that thing. Well, not little. I guess it's a big deal.
It is
It's
a
a big show.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's grown into a big show. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And I do another podcast show, off and on. I've been a guest on many other people's shows. Mm-hmm. I'm trying this one here with you. And that's kind of, I think, how most people know me in the social media space, because I didn't even have social media before that.
No.
Prior to that, I was just a blue-collar guy who bounced from job to job to job and really didn't have an identity, although I had many titles.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Well, like jack of all trades.
Yeah, some people have that, but they have trades. I didn't really have trades. I had what job's paying me this week. I've done everything from janitor to landscaping to truck loader to warehouse manager, to event coordinator, to MC, master of ceremonies at events, in more recent years. I've done some things.
Yeah.
I've done some things. I've wore a lot of different hats. Maybe that's a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades implies that you actually know something or pick something up along the way.
Aware of many hats.
But aware of many hats.
Yeah.
Not just this one.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, good call. Yeah. Yeah.
So in my past life, and I don't know how deep we want to get here, but I'll tell you, in my past life, I spent most of my life just being a guy who never really knew what I wanted to be. Yeah. Some people, like, they played with the G.I. Joes as a kid, and they're like, I'm joining the freaking military.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I never had that nudge for anything. I think initially I thought it was great as a person born in the 70s. I grew up with, like, bikers were cool.
Yeah.
Truckers were cool,
Yeah.
I know, like, a lot of those shows that I saw those people on were cop shows.
Yeah.
And I probably should have been like, man, being a cop would be cool.
Yeah. However,
But for some reason, the bikers and the truckers and the race car drivers, and that was kind of more my speed.
Yeah,
I really, like, looked up to those guys for all the wrong reasons, probably. So as my adult life went on, maybe some of that carried over. I worked very hard. And I played very hard, and it came with some costs associated to it. You know, I didn't make the best decisions a lot of the times, and because I had no predetermined like X, Y, and Z, like, okay, you're going to go to school, you're going to get your degree in this, or you're just going to graduate high school and go into a trade school, and you're going to go into that field. Because I didn't really have that. And Marcus, I'm going to be completely honest with you and everybody that's listening and watching right now. I still don't know what I want to be.
Yeah.
I have the biggest case of Peter Pan syndrome. I'll be die hard into something for 3 months, 3 years.
Yeah.
And then like that, man, I'm like, I used to ride bikes.
Right.
Yeah, I used to collect comics.
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe that's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing.
A lot of you're a big movie guy.
I am.
And we're gonna get to your story in a second.
Yeah.
But we're finishing mine. So hang tight.
Yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere.
You're a big movie guy. You're a big movie buff. I'm not such a movie buff. I like horror movies.
Genre.
I like good action movies, although you wouldn't know it from my Instagram. I like movies. I'm a book reader because of my upbringing. I read a lot. We didn't have cable TV or any of that. But what I'm getting at, the point I'm trying to make is a lot of people I would tell my stories to because some weird things have happened to me in my life. I've met some people that have gone on to be famous. I've met some people while they were famous and was fortunate enough to hang out with them and spend some time with them.
Yeah.
And a lot of different jobs and a lot of different opportunities have come my way. And sometimes it's almost one of those things where, like, man, that Ben's got a lot of stories. You think they're all true? And I'll be the first to tell you I've embellished, especially over a drink or two. Right? I ain't saying that I ain't. I'm a pretty good storyteller if you let me run my mouth long enough. But there was one of those things where if you watch a certain movie, like you see like a Forrest Gump, or you see like a Big Fish, you see one of the, and you realize like, wow, that's a pretty good yarn. But that guy at the end, like he lived all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And looking back just now, this isn't like a eulogy to myself, like my life's over.
No.
I've been very fortunate that I've had a lot of cool things happen to me, and I've had a lot of cool experiences, and I've got to meet a lot of cool people that other people kind of idolize or look up to or would consider famous and I think sometimes because that's not normal, it can come off a little bit like grandstanding or boasting of, like, well, I did this and I hung that and but really I think it all comes from the fact that I just never decided what I wanted to be in life. Yeah. So it allowed me to just kind of like be in these different places and opportunities for whether if you want to call it luck or just happenstance or for those events to occur, I guess, or those meetings to take place or those, you and I had a similar run in. I think that's how we first met.
It is.
I was on assignment to do something with Skill Set Magazine. And ever since then, I don't know, there was like, we'll get hippie talk, something in the universe that was like, man, I really like this Marcus cat. That leads us all the way here to this day.
Yeah.
And I friggin' love it. Yeah. That's kind of been my life for the most part. So, jack of all trades? No. Wearer of many hats? Yes. Yeah. Maker of bad decisions? Definitely. Definitely. I've probably had more of those, it's 2 a.m., you should call it at nights, but didn't than most people. Yeah. And that's what leads to me having so many different jobs sometimes. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a little bit about my background, like without getting into the the nitty gritty. I think we've got like, do they give you a limit of how many episodes they have before they kick you off the air? 50, 100, 5?
Fuck, I don't know.
There's no rules, right?
There better
So
not
we'll
be.
just tell all the other things I like in future episodes. How about that? We'll put a pin in it, as I like to say.
Well, yeah. And you've got, I'm excited for when you do have something that you want to let out, because I've heard some of them and I think that they're pretty fucking awesome.
Well, you can call me out. I'll share one right now. I don't care. If there's something on the top of your head.
I would rather, because it's called the Daily Struggle Show.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a reason why we're doing this show and with that name.
There is.
And it's, you are who you are, not just because you did wear all these different hats, but there's many things that have happened in your life to get you to why you're on this path that you're on now. And that's when people say, well, what's Ben like? To try to explain it, I'd just rather say, listen, I'd rather he just tell you. Because I'm not going to be able to do justice to your, I don't like the word story or testimony or any of that stuff, because it's deeper than that. You're a fucking onion, man. You make it like, oh, you're one level and done, but you're not. You're not. And it's a good bullshit story and it's fantastic, but I'm not going to let that happen. You have a good story, and I think that whenever you want, I think people should know it, because I guarantee you they're going to sit there and be very much like me and see and just go, wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
We'll get to it. I think it'll come out. Like, I think a lot of things will come out over the course of doing these wonderful episodes with you.
And
but for the most part, like, I made a decision a while back where I just wasn't going to be the guy staying up past 2, finishing however amount of alcohol he purchased that evening.
Right. And
that was pretty much the catalyst that kicked off my whole new chapter in my life, if we want to use that analogy. Right? Yeah. Because there was a point in time in my life where I just, this is what I was doing. You're not going to tell me nothing. Life isn't going to change. It's like this. That's just how it is. You can't change anything. You can't. There was a big part of me that was never going to forgive myself for the person that I was and the damage that I had created in life, without getting too deep.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And then one day, because I realized all the damage that I was, like, how do you put this in a way that doesn't sound too deep, too heavy on the first podcast?
Right, yeah.
But I had new people in my life, and I had people that had stuck by my life the whole time I was throwing a pity party for myself.
Yeah.
Right? And one day it just kind of occurred to me, you're blowing a whole nother chance, dude, by not giving a chance to the most important person in the room, you.
Right.
Yep. And you deserve to be a little easier on yourself and give yourself an opportunity to not ruin this that's happening right now.
Yeah.
And to cut into a shortened version of where I was at in that headspace, there's always that thing when everybody's struggling with an addiction or struggling with a current bad behavior or even maybe a good behavior. There's always something that's tugging at you that's like, this is hard. I don't want to go to that new jujitsu class because I'll be the only new guy in the room.
Yeah.
And what's so funny is after 30 days go by or 3 months goes by, you look back and you go, man, that was really fucking easy.
Yeah.
Like in my case, I just needed to stop being an asshole.
Right.
I need to stop drinking. I need to stop treating the people that love me badly. Yeah. I needed to stop treating myself badly and realize that I did deserve the opportunities that I was getting and the chances and the friendships and the relationships that I was making. Yeah. I needed to believe that I did deserve those chances, that I was a human being who was worth it, right?
Yeah.
And it was crazy. It was crazy how easy it was, right?
Yeah.
It really was. Now, I know, having been there, that if you're hearing this and you're dealing with something right now, fuck no, it ain't. Fuck no, it ain't.
Yeah.
All I could do is grab you and shake the shit out of you and go, bro, babe, whoever, trust me.
Yep.
You're going to look back in 6 months and be like, fuck, all I had to do was stop.
Yeah.
All I had to do was change this one behavior.
Yeah.
All I had to do was put my left shoe on today instead of my right first.
Yeah.
Like something that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because for me, I'll tell you, like, I could share my secret sauces of this. I know it's different for everyone, but for me, it was just learning to forgive myself. It was just giving myself the chance.
Yeah.
And once I did that, dude, here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. You wouldn't have hung out with me 10 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, dude, no way. It's an asshole.
Yeah.
First off, I'd have never let you in.
Right.
Second, like, you wouldn't hang out with me. You wouldn't hang out with me. I didn't like the person I was. How could you like the person I was?
No.
So,
Yeah.
daily struggle.
Daily struggle.
It was a struggle even up to the point of recording today when I told Marcus just yesterday, we're going to do that this week. And then I had another thing happening this morning and I saw the day starting to get away from me. And I was like, no, I am not texting my fucking dear good friend Marcus and going, let's do it tomorrow because I just hit him up and I'm like, dude, let's do this right now.
Yep.
So it's, we're in Arizona.
We are.
We're pushing like the 100-degree mark these days. We're in my garage right now, right? Because we're all high speed like that.
Yeah, we are high speed.
And the cooler is off. I have a swamp cooler. There's no AC. You might see we're starting to precipitate a little bit. Glow is a good word.
Yeah.
But that's how important it was to me that we just did this the same way I just told that story, where we gave ourselves a chance today to make this show happen today, right?
Yeah.
Just like I gave myself a chance back then. It ties all back into this struggle. The struggle to fucking attack the day to day and do this show and make it happen.
Yeah.
Or just like, hey man, fucking do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fucking do it. Nah, no more of that. Right? That was my struggle for today. I overcome. I won. We're sitting here. We're recording. Later, y'all are going to be enjoying this. We'll tip up some water for you now and, we'll toast to that.
Yeah. Now, see? Do you see? Do you see what I'm saying? This is...
Is that good?
That was fucking awesome.
That's
awesome.
That's pretty much who I am in a nutshell and what I struggle with today. Right now, this hour. There's about 9 million more things I can get through, but we're just going to leave it right there.
Well, just means that we have a lot.
You can help me push the Jeep back in when we're done, and I'll struggle with that thing later.
See? Yeah, catch me in the fields, you fucker. I love it.
What's your struggle today? Want to share? Or we should set up a little backstory.
Yeah.
Who's Marcus? Why are you here? How do we meet? You can even go there.
Well, see, now with my fucking brain being broken, I don't even remember. I know it had to do with the magazine.
Yeah, so you were teaching a class. You would come out here to Arizona. I didn't know who you were at the time. Like, I didn't know what you did. I didn't know, you weren't on my radar. I don't even think I was following you till that day.
Right, yeah.
I was just my partner in crime that I run the magazine with. I should say that I'm very much a Dwight Schrute, and I don't mean that in any negative way of myself, but I am an assistant to the editor.
Yeah.
He is the man, the myth, the Wizard of Oz behind the green curtain.
Yeah.
And he says to me, hey, there's this cat in town, and I was going to go out there and check his class or course out or something he's doing. We've been talking through social media.
Yeah.
I can't make it. Would you want to go out? In a nutshell, I think that's pretty much how it happened, because my memory's not much better than yours.
No.
All I know is, me being me, I'm like, this sounds cool. And I get a chance to ride my newly purchased motorcycle at the time.
Which you did, yeah.
So I grab a camera, I truck on out there, and I had the best, I think, like 3 hours of my life that I was not expecting at all. I got punched in the face at one point. I thought I was going out to take photos.
Yeah, you were. And then somebody decided that you should dive in on it. Yeah, the look on your face was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. So you, at the time, you were certifying. Let me see if I get this right. Let me see if my memory's okay. You were certifying a gentleman whose school has a Krav Maga facility.
Yeah.
And you were basically making sure he was up to snuff enough to be doing what he was doing. In a nutshell.
Yeah. Well, I'd already certified him, but I was just kind of doing some spot checking and using the coming to here, doing some seminars as an opportunity to kind of see how he was doing and making sure everything was going in the right way, and which he was. I was confident of that. And it was a good excuse for me to come out to Arizona because I had never been here before. Yeah. And so doing this, and the magazine was tied into that.
Yeah.
Because
you were like our first, what were you? What was the title of that segment? What was it? Like you were our underground.
Underground.
Yeah. You were the first guy, right?
I don't know. No,
Second guy.
Second guy.
Did we have it in the first issue? I don't recall.
No, I don't think you had.
I think you were the first feature.
I was the one with what's his face, Ryan Felipe.
Oh, so you were issue 3.
3, yeah.
That's how bad my memory is,
no,
folks.
You know what? You had the knife guy in the second issue. Yep,
I don't know.
Yep, I know who it is.